Welcome to the beautiful beast.
Welcome back to the beautiful beast, and what an exciting week we've had. A few dramas, a few ups, a few downs, but it did start fairly well. We left Chef Chow and followed this road across some beautiful landscapes. We took the B road and that was exciting. Obviously it started life as two vehicles to cross, but through wear and tear, it's suddenly kind of only really single track. But there you go, you know, it's a test. But the road, although there's a few vehicles passing this, was generally lighter traffic. It wasn't too bad. It was good to start the week as well with such beautiful background, you know, and it's still fairly low key, you know. A lot of the farming is done manually. They still use donkeys to carry quite a bit around. But the one thing that we did come across was young lads like this, you know. They're quite happy to. Well, they virtually all asked for money. Not that we were going to stop and give them a couple of quid just for giving us a wave. And I don't know. It seems to be the young ones tend to be a bit like that. And it's even worse by the coast, although we haven't really been at the coast yet, so I can't really comment on that. But yeah, there was a few potholes also to get around. But all you had to do was just pull over. Done there, and most people were quite appreciative of it. So, and then eventually we arrive in Fez. Just on the left there is the palace, the royal family's palace. We went there with good intentions to visit a lot of places. You know, there's a lot to see in Fez. Not only, although unfortunately the royal palace was shut. I guess the maybe the family were in situ, but there are various other quite extraordinary things to see, parks and other its and bits, and yeah, we just, well, because he wasn't very well. Unfortunately, we got stuck behind this lorry, and I don't think I've ever smelled something so bad in my life. I was quite relieved when eventually it moved forward. God, that stank. But there you go. You're in a hot country. What can you expect? So we drove into Fez. Originally, we were going to just go to a Carrefour's, which is just coming up here. Obviously, McDonald's is available everywhere. Doesn't matter where you go. So we were going to originally just go to this Carrefour, park up, get some food, and then go and find somewhere to park up. But as it was, once we eventually parked up, we found out that it was actually quite a full-on retail area. You know, there was quite a lot of shops, and it was air-conditioned, it was lovely. And so we took the opportunity to wander around, do a bit of shopping. And the other thing is, having been in the shop, because he spoke to the security guy and convinced him that it would be a good idea for us to park here overnight, which we did. We gave him a whole £1 and he was happy with that, and we parked. Unfortunately, it wasn't quite he wasn't working the following day, because we ended up staying 2 days. There he is. And as he wasn't there, we got bang on the door at 12 o'clock at night and told that we weren't supposed to park there, even though we'd already been there for nearly 48 hours. But we just said, look, you know, we're not going to drive anywhere now. It's all right if we just leave in the morning. And they said, yeah, no problem at all. So that was Fez, really.
So we're in the Medina inside Mekanez. It's a bit different. We're hoping to find the main shopping area yet, but so I'll come back when I'm a little bit wiser. So into the Medina we go. Is there anything specific you want? This is there?
I don't want anything. You.
So we did manage to meet a couple of characters when we were in there on two occasions. One occasion the guy said, "Oh, you want to go and have a look at this mosque? It's just down there." And then he joined us, and then he was only really interested in giving us a tour, which, as because he was not that well, still not that well, we weren't interested in. And then we were given directions by another guy, but mainly because he wanted to take us to his workshop, where he had gold and silver and other bits and bits that he wanted to sell us, which is fair enough. But there's some sights to be seen. That young donkey there, just chilling out.
Yep, I break it up into small sections and
Some are, but I don't think they all are. So we're following these young ladies because we're under the impression they know where they're going. Don't fall down the drain. There you go, that's a nice door.
Very nice. And it even says on post.
Where are you? We're now postal expert. So we had a little wander around the souk, but it's too hot. And Gizzy, who is just recovering from the cold I gave her, felt a bit faint, so we escaped. And it wasn't the right time to go there. It's their kind of afternoon siesta time, so a lot of the shops were actually shut. So anyway, nearly we were there, but so we've treated ourselves by coming through a little coffee shop. Which is very nice. I'm sure it won't cost a lot of money, but it's good to sit down in the shade and enjoy one. Enjoy a coffee. There's Mrs. Elle, because she feels like she's been left out. She's too hot.
Exactly.
No drama. So we've been a bit unlucky really, because the gate over there which is quite famous, is under refurbishment, but the southern gate there, obviously they're just working on now. At least it's opened up, and it gives you some idea of what that looks like, which must be bloody amazing when it's done. Anyway, I've lost my wife somewhere.
That's fine. You
That's
see
those
the
lovely
little
little
bony. Oh, look, it's a meat hanging in there. Oh, it's just... Look, it's a white. It's like wedding. You know, it's a little horse and Wanna walk in there or not?
Don't go too close to the back of that horse.
I wouldn't. I'm sure it must be. I can't remember what it looked like now without of searching. لا لا عادي. This one is much heavier, I have to say. Fix this one up. Unless you can't shit.
Oh, this one.
I just had this one. I meant the one higher up.
Oh.
Yeah. Hold it tight. Hold it tight. This is heavy. How much? Bottom?
350.
35.
Is that 35 quid?
Yeah. What?
Parlez-vous anglais?
No.
No. Is this stainless steel?
Yeah, of course it is, Ali. Oh my God. He is complicated.
Oh. Stainless steel.
Over here you have some more normal ones, Ali. Here you got some more normal ones. 12 quid.
Well, so that is more similar to what we've
What
got.
we got, yeah. It's 19. But even this one for 8 quid is similar to what we got, or not? Yeah. Oh, look,
Teapot shopping.
I can't reach them.
Yeah, I don't know what they are.
They're
Right,
teapots,
hold
or?
that. No, because what's all this underneath?
Keep it hot. How much?
35.
Yeah, it's keep it hot.
I think that
It's the hot water.
no.
Oh, pardon. Pardon.
I
What
think
is
that is where you put the coals.
Okay, maybe.
So I I ended up feeling quite sorry for these ponies. It was pretty hot that day. Must have been 32, 34, and I don't think it was the heat that, although the heat was part of it, but it was the flies. I think they're constantly harassed by them. Yeah, poor old things.
That's cheap fuel, 190, 12.92.
No, it's all 120. the way when we driven, there was somewhere 128 something. But it's, I don't know.
Welcome back, Van Letters. So, this is the situation with the old van, with the beautiful beast. So, that silver pipe that you can see at the back. I don't think you can quite see that. Let's get a bit closer. That one there. That was found to have the original one, which is underneath all this stuff. Was found to be with hole. So it needed replacing, but unfortunately, because of the position of where it was, lots of stuff had to come out. So the turbo had to come out. Let's see. The turbo had to come out, which is that one. The alternator, all that ducting, quite a few of the water pipes. The radiator had to come out. Starting motor had to come out. The front bumper had to come off, and that was just to get this far. So they started about 11. I think in the end they just ran out of steam in the end. So they were just, because it was really hot today as well. I mean, obviously they're more used to it than I am, but I could imagine working in 32 degrees outside, and they were in the sun as well. I mean, I know the sun's gone now, but they were kind of directly in the sun while they were doing it. So anyway, they dug it all out. They've just literally got the new pipe in, so it's just a matter of putting it all back together now, which I wish it should go a lot quicker than what it took to get out. And they seem to go about what they do in a proper manner. Now, I've had a quote, because obviously we're not going to do this without having some knowledge of what it's going to cost, and it's about 200 quid, which is really not that bad, is it? You know, a lot of that is labour, and I think they allow 13 hours, which is not really going to be too far off, I don't think, really, in fairness. I'm certainly not going to moan about it if it comes out with what they said it's going to come out at. Yeah, I'll get all this finished tomorrow. We needed a new fan belt. The alternator didn't quite line up with the, and was rubbing on the somewhere on the engine block, which made the fan belt quite worn. And that was the excitement for today. And this all really stemmed, we did the service, and whilst we were, when they finished the service, because the day before I'd noticed that the level of the water on the reservoir area was a bit low. I think it was about here-ish. So I was like, oh, can you just fill that up? And in my naivety, I said, you know, because it has been hot, we've had a couple of weeks of really hot weather, is that partly the reason for the drop in the levels? And the guy, the chief mechanic here, said no, it shouldn't be leaking like water that. So then obviously you got the worry of head gaskets and stuff like that, but it wasn't that. Once they had a good look around the engine, they found the leak on the pipe, so it's just a matter of putting it all back together now. So and once that's done, you know, I think we're in pretty safe territory. The only thing is, because they had to drain the water out of the radiator, that's what all that lovely mess is there, they had to park us on a hill, so we're on a hill here. That's alright. There's Mrs. Howe. Hello, Mrs. Howe.
Hello.
She's doing the washing, bless her. And then we've got a couple of little family of dogs here. There's more than one puppy. I don't know where the rest of the puppies are, but we've been giving them digestives, which they seem to like, which is fair enough.
They're very friendly. And then there's a young family of kittens with a mother. Mother's just over there, so gave her a bit of chicken. And although the kittens are quite young. Anyway, in theory, we should be back on the road tomorrow. And the first thing we're going to do is to drive to a place where there's spring water, because we need to fill up our reserves of water before we go dancing in the desert. So we'll do that, and I'm hoping we'll go to a campsite which is in like a nature reserve. So depending on how tomorrow goes, that's where you'll get my next post or update. Anyway, I hope that was all right and kept you up to speed as where we are. No drama. Hello, van lifers. So we finally managed to leave the garage. So we just went in there for a service, which was a couple £100, which was all right. You know, some oil, some filters. Good look at the truck. It all was good. And then I noticed when they were doing the service that the water was a bit low. So I said, can you have a look at that? Which is, you know, we're going into the Sahara. The last thing we want is any bloody issues. So anyway, they narrowed it down to a pipe, circulation pipe, which I think I mentioned on the daily blog. And but unfortunately to clear that took a bit of a palaver. But anyway, so we got all that sorted and got it all bolted back together. And then they found another leak. This time it was coming off the heat exchanger, which is the mechanism for basically demisting the windscreen. And it wasn't with the foils, it was with a bit of pipework that fed it, which had a crack in it, hairline crack. It was under pressure, that was leaking. So that had to be repaired as well. So at first, well, they had to find it first, and then it was what it was. But I mean, that took 5 hours. It just went on and on and on, which is fair. They do take their time. I mean, they don't rush around. They do things properly, and fair play to them. And then we had to pay the bill, which was, I suppose, probably 80 quid more than we was expecting. But there you go. I think they could have kind of justified it, really. It's not. Yeah, it was all right. So anyway, we left. We've driven an hour south. Journey's gone all right. No leaks, no bumps. Yeah, everything's all right. So we're in a good place. The truck is as good as it's going to be for the next. So we're going down the Sahara to, I think it's called Mazoga or something like that. What's it called? Marzuka. Must be Spanish or something. That's a joke, by the way. Which is 4 hours drive down there.
Marzuka.
Yeah.
6 hours.
6 hours. So, which our speeds, that's probably about 8 hours. Yep. And there's a massive mountain to drive over as well. So we're looking forward to that. But we have learned, just take your time. And if you need to stop, stop. So that's what we do. We're in no rush. We're not out here to break records. I try and treat her as kindly as possible. I don't over-rev her. We try and stay within the green lines and just tootle along quite nicely. But where we are now is, there's a monastery over there. I don't think we've seen enough bloody monasteries, so I don't think we'll bother going looking at that, to be fair. Although I'm sure it's very nice. So we found this little parking area. A couple of wild dogs hanging around, but they seem quite happy to just lay there. They'll probably be our security tonight anyway. They're very protective, the dogs. So I can only imagine. The places that we've been, the dogs have been very protective, and I think they're used to the Westerners feeding them. So it's part of the deal. So there you go.
I think it's Friday today. Is it Friday? Need to have a look. Oh, it is Friday. So, the weekend is upon us. No drama. So we set off on our journey to the desert, and one of the first real missions was going up this hill or mountain, but surprising, and it was 6,257 feet, which is pretty high. And this is the mountain pass that you drive through. But what captured us was that there was guys parked up and they're fishing, so there must have been a natural spring up there, which shocked me really. You can only imagine. Well, I can only assume that fish have been up there for a very, very long time, and how they've kept going up there, I do not know. In fact, how they got up there, I do not know. But there you go. I'm sure someone can explain all this to me in the comments. I might have a look on Google as the answer to most things. The other thing is my daughter, who regularly gives me feedback on my filming and everything else I do on it, has suggested that I am spending far too much time showing off areas or spending time. So she suggests it's better for me to talk over these sections instead of just having crap music. So this area, there was wild monkeys. So we, through my wife, you must pull over and take a photo and all this. And we pulled over. Within 30 seconds, out of the bushes came 2 or 3 lads, all selling fruit that you could obviously give to the monkeys. And that seemed to be everything the rest of the journey. Every time we pulled over, someone came out of the woodwork and was trying to sell us something. So we didn't hang around. We pulled off and accelerated, as you can see, up the hill to get away from them. There was obviously there's always a bit of dodgy overtaking. Further up the road, there were an opportunity to see. We did slow down. We didn't stop though. Some other monkeys, and but it's not the first time I've seen monkeys, if I'm completely honest. So anyway, this is some footage that was taken by Mrs. Hale. Some of it is quite breathtaking. This is another pass, another section of mountains that we're going to go through now. And some of it was quite narrow. Some of it was a bit breathtaking. And the other thing is there's a wall that you can see there on the right. That would have sections randomly missing out of it, and it took me a while to understand how that happened, because it didn't look like a car had hit them, and it was large rocks had obviously been misplaced or displaced on the side of the mountain, and they'd rolled down the hill and took out the wall. God forbid if a car was driving past, because that would have been game over. But very, very scenic. Sorry about the quality. I should clean my windscreen a bit more. But yeah, breathtaking views. I loved that part of the journey. It was it got better and better as we went on. To this final bit that's coming up now, where we came through this canyon. It was amazing. Obviously very, very deep. We slowed down. That river had, which I don't think was connected to what I was talking about previously, looked like in periods when it did rain, was well flooded. So anyway, it was dry as a bone. There was the odd puddle in it, or you can see there's a bit of water. But in other areas it was just completely dry. So. Although, when you come out of this area, the areas that are near the river are obviously quite fertile. They regulate, that's not the word, someone will tell me, put it in the comments, the ground for growing whatever, and there's obviously a lot of palm trees and a lot of the veg is grown in an area really that is quite sparse. And we drove through some quite deserty areas.
But yeah, what a fantastic drive. The beautiful beast never missed a beat. All that work and effort from the guys in Meknes, the mechanics, was well worth it. It was a good day, and it was a lovely. I think we drove nearly 5.5 hours, 6 hours that day. I think it was Saturday, so I'm sitting here now just trying to put the ends to it. Yeah, just sat here doing me editing now. And when I got here, I kept saying to people, "Do you think it's going to rain today?" Because it had been quite dusty through the day, and I'm sitting here now, having arrived. We've had our tea. I'm just doing the editing. In a minute, I'll upload this onto YouTube. Hopefully, so you can view it at 10 o'clock tomorrow, or Sunday. But it is raining here, and there's a bit of thunder going on as well, so that should keep things interesting. We did drive past some amazing mosques as well. I don't think you can knock on the door and go and have a look at them. It's not like the Catholic churches we've been going into willy-nilly. And then lastly, the last bit of the drive, we went past this reservoir, which was a beautiful colour. I'm trying to find the name of it. Oh, I can't find the name of it. That obviously feeds a lot of. So that's it from us, the beautiful beast. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. It's been a bit mishmashy, but obviously breaking down a little bit didn't help. Just went in there for an innocent oil change and ended up 400 quid lighter. But there you go. See you next week. Ooh. Welcome back.
Huh?
Welcome back.
What?
I'm not talking to you. Welcome back. Over. Oh, fuck's sake. Let's start again.